Hi, my name is Addison, and I'm an undergraduate art and design student at the University of Alberta. Last winter, I was in my third year of the BFA program and had the opportunity to work with AI in my media arts class with Marilyn Oliver. I decided pretty quickly that I wanted to jump right in with training the AI myself, but I had concerns about where I would get a data set and what kind of biases it might have. That's how I came up with the idea to make my own small data set and allow the data set itself to become part of the means of communication for the project. It didn't take long trying to think of potential topics for affordable housing to come to mind. After moving to Edmonton for school with the idea that it's a cheap city to live in, I found that while it is cheaper than somewhere like Toronto and has more options than someplace like Halifax, we're not only lacking affordable housing here, but it's not being talked about enough. I decided to use AI to create images of what it thinks affordable housing looks like here in Edmonton, based on a dataset consisting of Google Street View screenshots. My hope is that these images can help start conversations about housing here in Edmonton. I started by tracking down what the city has to offer for affordable housing. I had to set some parameters, so I decided that 30% of a monthly minimum wage income for a 40-hour work week, $800, would be the cutoff for price. I took utilities into account, allowing $25 for electricity, or $100 if no utilities were included. I got to work collecting addresses. I compiled them into a spreadsheet and checked for duplicates. I had varying degrees of success across 10 rental platforms, including RentFaster and Kijiji. I stopped my search after an 11th platform yielded no results. Based on first-hand experience looking for housing and some preliminary searches of major platforms, I expected to find between 600 and 1,000 addresses in Edmonton. But in the end, I was only able to find 398 unique addresses which contained units for rent that met my criteria. I found an abysmal 410 unique listings in total, many with only one unit available, and some I couldn't find addresses for, but 398 I could, so that's all I had to work with. I attribute my estimate being way off to the massive number of duplicate listings. I knew there would be a lot of duplicates, but I had no idea it was quite so bad. So that's even worse than I was expecting. Our city deserves better than 410 buildings. But anyway, my next step was to collect images of buildings and houses with units for rent. So I put each address into Google Street View and captured a screenshot of the structure. I did my best to minimize interference of things like vehicles or trees. In some cases, older footage made this easier, such as properties with a lot of deciduous trees if I could find images captured in the winter, but I decided not to use anything older than 2016. Here's an example of the images I ended up with. I managed to acquire 392 total images with 6 addresses that didn't have footage of a completed structure available. Then I trained the AI. I used Runway's StyleGAN too, and started with the mountains preset. Here's what the AI gave me after 3,000 training steps. Still looking a bit mountainous. Here's how they were looking after 4,000 training steps. And after 5,000, I decided to call it quits because I wasn't seeing as significant of improvements at this point. Though if it was a free service, I might have considered pushing it a bit further just out of curiosity. I attribute the difficulty the AI is having generating realistic structures to the minuscule dataset of only 392 screenshots. The lack of affordable housing in Edmonton is reflected in these images. I pushed my AI project a bit further as the media arts class went on. I created my own digital interpretation of one of the AI-generated images and rendered it in a Street View screenshot of one of Edmonton's vacant lots. I made it some rental listings of its own. The captions on these listings are generated by text AI trained with snippets of real listing captions that I collected while I was collecting the addresses. As you might expect, this AI gave me some strange sentences with numerous mentions of laundry facilities, window coverings, and various Edmonton neighborhoods. I found the term "welcome to Vinyl Manor" repeated multiple times in some of the text that the AI generated, and I decided it would be a suitable name for the building that AI and I created together. Because I'm really angry about the lack of affordable housing in our city, I decided to put Vinyl Manor in front of City Hall. I made some adjustments to my interpretation of the AI's building and uploaded it to Sketchfab to be viewed in augmented reality. I also made posters to hang around City Hall inviting passers-by, or Mayor Sohi, to visit Vinyl Manor in AR and read a quick blurb about its background as an AI art project. Vinyl Manor even made an appearance in my virtual reality project for the same class. For this project, I wallpapered a virtual space with both real and AI-generated rental listings, including the one for Vinyl Manor. Compiling my own dataset manually in the way that I did was certainly not a quick task, even considering that I ended up having less images to capture than I was expecting. It did feel worthwhile to me though, as I learned a lot about the city and was able to do a lot of personal reflection during the rather repetitive data collection process. Furthermore, while this is an inherently flawed dataset for several reasons, and the result was also influenced by the mountains preset, my dataset is one that I know the origins and background of, which was important to me while working with AI in the context of art making. I have a lot of fun with various AI image generators, but the reality is I just don't know which datasets are being used to train them, where they come from, or what biases they might have. They're great to experiment with, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to introduce those unknown variables to my art practice in a significant way. I hope that as artificial intelligence continues to develop and work its way into different aspects of our lives, the importance of transparency in datasets becomes a bigger part of the conversation. Thanks for taking the time to find out about my project.